Hey guys, this Wok Wednesday series is all about Chinese Unchopped, my first book, which covers the core techniques of Chinese cooking. So anything from steaming, stir frying, deep frying, braising, roasting, poaching, and double cooking. That's piecing together 2 or more of those core techniques. Let's get woking, I can't wait. This dish, braised curried squid, takes me back to the Hong Kong streets. Here's how we do it. In Hong Kong, street food, or the street food culture, is really prominent. And you have a lot of different varieties of picky foods. You wouldn't think that braised curried squid would be one of them, but everything's on a stick in Hong Kong. So you can just grab a stick of curried squid or curried fish balls and just eat it. It's quite hot and heaty. It makes you sweat, but in hot weather. But hey, that's like drinking a cup of tea on a hot day. So the curried squid, this is definitely a more home-style version. And in the original recipe, I use Thai shallots, but I've got some red onion here because I can't seem to find any Thai shallots at the moment. I'm just going to use half a red onion. There's a couple of ingredients that I've swapped out like this. Absolutely fine. You know, this is just to make the base flavour of your curry. And a Hong Kong curry, it's almost like here in the UK you get curried chips. You know, it's not a classic Indian or Southeast Asian curry. We're definitely sort of reliant on curry powder, and that's where it's quite a nostalgic flavour in many senses. So just fine slices of either red onion or Thai shallots. I've got some different spices here. The main spice or flavour is going to come from your curry powder. So I've got a good tablespoon of curry powder. That's Madras curry powder there. Got some turmeric. You want a nice sort of bright orangey yellow colour. That's going to work with the evaporated milk. Yes, a weird ingredient, but Hong Kong food, you've got sort of evaporated milk, condensed milk, almost post-war ingredients that was left there, and it's still used today. So the only thing I've swapped out with the spices is your cumin powder for cumin seeds, just because I can't find the whole seed. So we'll leave it at that. That's, you know, it makes no real difference. It just makes it actually slightly easier to cook. I've got some garlic here. I'm going to go quite garlicky on this. So 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. Garlic can be sort of roughly chopped. It doesn't even need to be finely chopped. What a lot of people don't realise is when you're cooking squid, most of the time when you eat it in restaurants, you'd have, you know, your crispy calamari or things like that, where has to be cooked for no more than, say, 2 minutes. But you can actually slow cook your squid, and it'll just get more and more tender and take in a lot of flavour. So I've got my garlic with my red onion, and then I've got these fresh curry leaves, optional, but does definitely add flavour. Got a stick of cinnamon or cassia bark, and then all it takes is a bit of seasoning with salt, sugar. I've got my evaporated milk and some chicken stock. All I've got to do is prep my squid, and then I can cook it up. I've got baby squid here that's already cleaned through. So I'm just going to score it, open it up and score the pieces. Turn that around, score the other side. And then cut them into sort of bite-sized chunks. This dish has this very sort of Moorish taste because of the savoury nature of the squid, but also it's got a perfect balance of sweet and savoury with a little bit of spice on the base of it. Cantonese taste buds love this sort of thing. I've scored all the squid, and I have got the legs as well. You don't really need to do much to them if they're fully cleaned. Everything set up, ready to braise. Quick wash of hands, and we'll get cooking. Now, it is a slow cooked squid dish, but apart from the bubbling away, it's very easy to make up. You want it on a medium heat. Start at 12 o'clock, so your onions first. Get them into that hot oil. Now, braising anything isn't just sort of throwing everything and all the liquid into a pan and bringing it to a boil. This initial sear or frying process is really important. A little bit of colour on the onions is okay, but not too much. You don't want to take too long over this. Your garlic can go in. Remember, this is going to cook through for a good 45 minutes or so. So, my spices. You don't want to cook these on too high heat because they'll burn very quickly. So I've got my curry powder, my cumin, and turmeric for the colour, and then whole curry leaves and my cinnamon stick. Give that a quick stir through. The squid's going to add a lot of liquid to this, so once that's in, you won't have to worry about it burning at all. The squid coming in. It smells like they're walking past one of those Hong Kong street vendors already, and they've usually got this just bubbling away. Look at that colour that comes out from the spices. You do need that sort of initial sort of 30 seconds of tempering those spices before you add your squid. I'm going to hit the heat up now, so because of the liquid that the squid sort of adds to this saucepan, I'm not so worried about the spices burning. Those curry leaves do make a big difference. They wouldn't usually put these curry leaves into a Hong Kong squid curry, but I do find that it just sort of lifts it, elevates the flavour a little. And you can see that this liquid from the squid and the spices have almost formed a little curry paste, a natural curry paste at the bottom of that pan. Now what you want to do is you want to get that balance of sweet and salty, a good amount of salt, so a teaspoon of salt and about half a tablespoon of sugar. And that sugar and salt is going to bring out the sweet savoury of your evaporated milk, which goes in next. Proper wartime ingredient, that, but it just works. It's got this nice deep savoury sweet creaminess. Chicken stock, and this is just to give it more liquid so it can braise for that good amount of time. Bring that to a boil, cover it with a lid, down to a simmer, 45 minutes. Now this squid, it's had 45 minutes, should be really nice and succulent. You can just dish it straight out. It's really great either by itself or even with a crusty roll or baguette. Look at that colour of the sauce. I'm not going to touch that. I really love the colour of that, and just that little sort of wisp of oil around the edge makes it look even more beautiful. Time to tuck in. The smell of this is the epitome of savoury goodness. Oh. It's got a bite that almost melts in your mouth once you've bitten into it. Simple cooking. Nice, slow braised curried squid. Typical Hong Kong dish. If you guys want to know more about sort of not just authentic but all types of Asian cuisine like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like everything we do.